Nicole Lucio, and I am running for Mount Vernon City Council. Currently, I am a compliance officer and financial fraud investigator certified in anti-money laundering. I've decided to run because I have the experience and integrity needed to advance the affairs in our beautiful city and to encourage a city government that is honest, transparent, and accountable. Nobody wants to see our local government mired in discord that nothing ever gets done. I understand that city council members are the city's legislators. A primary duty is to introduce and vote on legislation. It is my hope that you will get to know me and save your signature. Signing my petition can make a difference. Visit my website, Vote Nicole Lucio. My name is Nicole Lucio. I'm actually from the Bronx. I had a wonderful childhood, although I lost my father. He was murdered. My mother did a wonderful job, raising us as a widow. 4 girls. My parents had 4 girls. My father is from Trinidad, and my mother is born and raised in Harlem. And I went to public school all my life. And I actually didn't want to go to college, but I was encouraged, almost forced to. I wanted to pick up a trade. I wanted to go to cosmetology school. And because I have 2 older sisters that went to college before me, I was encouraged to go that route. I have lived in Mount Vernon for the past 20 years. My family is what's most important to me. Having lived in Mount Vernon for the past 20 years, I have a lot of inherited family. And that's who's become important to me as well. And that's one of the main reasons why I'm running for city council, is to really try to protect what's left here and build upon that. My path was, I guess I will say, it was kind of already mapped out. I went to school. I was initially enrolled in journalism, and then, graduated with a criminal justice degree, and worked with juvenile delinquents for some years before I pivoted into New York City Department of Homeless Services, and now in finance. My move to Mount Vernon happened in my adult life. I was already living on my own in the Bronx off of White Plains Road. And I started to look for my own home ownership opportunity. I wanted a home ownership opportunity, and I had saved for it. And I was introduced to this area. A friend of mine who I worked with at the time knew that I was looking in the real estate market for a permanent home. What led me to the decision now to represent Mount Vernon is basically my community service. I served on several community boards, and I engage in the community. I'm welcomed at several programs, and I attend several different programs. And so I begin to learn about what some of the needs are that are not being met. I serve with the Mount Vernon Democratic Party since 2009. And so a lot of my advocacy through the party, really promoting, you know, part of their agenda. I was able to engage in the community. I sat on the board of the Mount Vernon Neighborhood Health Center, formerly known as the Mount Vernon Neighborhood Health Center. And that was a different population that was being served. Um, I served as the chair of the Board of Ethics for a few years, and I began to learn more about the internal government of Mount Vernon and some of the things that that population um, was concerned about. So, what else? I also served on the Charter Revision Commission. My church is here. One of my reverends, Mizell, always says to me, that I'm still a member of Grace Baptist Church. And I also attend, I have two other churches that I do like to attend. My sister goes to church here. My cousin goes to church here. So just being involved in all those activities, I'm probably missing something. I do a lot of ad hoc projects. I love not to be married to anything. And so short-term projects, I've sat on with panels to vote, for different talent shows and community talent shows. So I've done a lot that has introduced me to the community and to be in those areas to kind of hear what the concerns are. And I think that I can help to make a difference and make it better. Yeah, so my current career, and actually for the past 20 years has been in finance. And, I was introduced into finance. I have to give credit to my career in telecommunications. My career in telecommunications actually opened the door for me to work as a registered representative for a broker dealer where I traded stocks in customers' accounts. And the direction, I didn't just have my free will to trade in these accounts. The direction came from the account holder. And so in the early stages of my career in telecommunications, I was experienced in speaking to account holders. And so, that gave me the experience to speak to the account holders, but on a financial level. And of course, I had studied, um, and, there are, because the broker industry is so highly regulated, you do take exams. I was licensed in my Series 7 and 63 to trade stocks and options. That was high paced, very high paced, because, anybody who knows about the market will tell you how volatile it can be. And so from the time you're speaking to the customer and accessing the account information so that you could place the trade, the market price has either probably changed, if lower, if we're purchasing, that's better. If higher for the sell, that's better. But it's a very high paced industry. And that was my gateway to um, investigations on a compliance level in the financial industry. I'm running for Mount Vernon City Council. And, um, my inspiration for running is to fill a void. I think that my experience is so unique. And, I have, had some surface level conversations with the current comptroller. I know that um, what Mount Vernon needs is someone who can help to make it better. And I believe that my skill set in the area of compliance, in the area of risk management, in the area of, you know, being able to recognize unusual activity can benefit the city, on a financial level and more. Um, my inspiration um, stems from me wanting to protect Mount Vernon, just like any homeowner um, protects their assets. I am, and I've become protective, of this city that is my home and home to my family. I have blood relatives who do live here. And, like I mentioned before, I have, so many, I've inherited so many family extensions, and great friends, and so I want to be a part of the team that is supposed to be protecting Mount Vernon and Mount Vernon's assets and the property and, um, the people. So prior to running for city council, I served on the as a district leader for the Mount Vernon Democratic Party. Um, the technical title, or the title is city committee member, and that's an elected position. A lot of city committee members do start out getting appointed. Eventually, if you want to remain a city committee member, you must run. And so I ran to become a district leader um, more than once, and I was successful in getting elected in my district, District 2, which is not where I live, but that is, where I serve. And that is where, I do move around when I'm working with the party to get out the vote. So that is really one of my major introductions to Mount Vernon, was through the party. But since then, I've evolved, beyond that service, and I have served as the chair of the Mount Vernon Board of Ethics. That was also a position that I was appointed to by the current city council at that time. So 5 members of city council did interview me and thought that I was perfect to sit on the Board of Ethics. And so I served as a Board of Ethics member and the chair of the Board of Ethics with 4 other members. And together we received complaints from internal complaints from Mount Vernon City Government. And we reviewed those complaints. And so we took leads, internal leads, and we, did work to try to mitigate, those concerns and give our assessment to City Council as to some possible actions that they could take. And so we didn't make any decisions. We were basically a middle intermediary to try to help City Council resolve, some public concerns as well. And I also served as a member of the Mount Vernon Neighborhood Health Center, which is the original name. It's now called the Westchester Health Center, I believe, but most long-term residents are familiar with the name Mount Vernon Neighborhood Health Center. And so I served on the board. And, health, the industry of health is not my forte, but I was able to learn a lot, and I was able to kind of exercise my experience and lend my experience, which I'd like to think helped to keep the health center honest and uphold a level of integrity that was expected by myself as a board member, as well as other board members, and, to keep the legacy, of that health center, upheld by, the originators, the creators. And so I'd like to believe that I contributed to that along with the other members of the board as well as the staff, for sure. Yeah, so anyone who wants to connect with me, like they say, there's 5 to 6 degrees of separation. So I'm pretty sure that someone knows me. However, if and I'm also pretty sure that, I may have not met a lot of people, but my website's up and running. And you can certainly go on my website, which is votenicolelucio.com. And right now, that's the best place to reach me and send an email to me. It is being checked actively. I will have a separate cell phone that I will be able to post, so that I could just distinguish some of my personal phone calls from, phone calls pertaining to the campaign. I may also be sharing that number with my campaign director. So I'll be publicizing that as well, if it's not already up, which it should be. My email address is votenicolelucio@gmail.com. That's VOTENICOLELUCIO@gmail.com.
Wonderful.
Running for city council is important to me at this time because of where we are. There has been some decisions that may need another eye based on popular consensus. There are residents who do speak at city council meetings. They do express some of their concerns. They are looking for someone who is willing to stand up for them. Those aren't my words. Those are words that have been expressed by the public. They're not happy with certain decisions that have been made regarding the budget, regarding the taxes, regarding day-to-day business operations. And I've been listening. And so, I'm ready to work in that service capacity with the community to help get some of those needs met. There are a lot of great things happening in Mount Vernon too. Let me say that, that I do recognize that as well. I'm a huge fan of the Youth Bureau and the recreation department that promotes wonderful activities in our community for children, parents, seniors. And so, I see that too. I think those areas can be expanded on. I would like to see more children be able to participate in those activities. And, I want to be able to see those things be sustainable. I'm running for those reasons. So, some of my strengths and weaknesses, I would say definitely my work ethic is a strength. And I actually work pretty well under pressure. I don't know whether that's a good or a bad thing, but I work well with deadlines, and I, am just someone who will understand my assignment and get the job done by any means. I am someone who, um, knows how to use resources. It's just me being able to understand the assignment, assess and analyze, and to be able to, come up with a solution. A weakness. My weakness, I would say, is that I'm learning to kind of stay in my lane, not that I will not take risk, but when you're working on a team in particular, you have to allow everyone to bring their own talents, and so I would say that one of my weaknesses are that me being able to kind of balance self-care, exercise is so important. Um, Getting, taking time to read something other than your day to day, reading a book for luxury, that self-care. I have to make sure that I carve it into my busy work schedule, into my busy, which includes my service. And so I would say that that's a weakness, is me really trying to balance work life. I am someone who never missed a day of work. And I had to learn that it's okay to take a couple of hours if it's a slow day, and maybe have a gym session in the morning and arrive late. If it's a slow time and not a peak time, it's okay to take a day off as a mental health day, to take a break and just to be a couch potato, or again to exercise, or to even go over some of your personal financials. So I would say that I'm learning better to take time for myself, for self-care. I would definitely say that my work ethic is my biggest strength. You know, anytime I talk about family, I'm also speaking about community, because I'll say it over and over again. I've really grown fond of a lot of long-term members of this community, and I consider them, part of my extended family. And so, my work ethic to be able to support my family in different ways, just my commitment to community, my work ethic, I would say those are strengths. With me as a member of City Council, I see Mount Vernon evolving into um, more business. Um, I would love to work with the Chamber of Commerce here in Mount Vernon to help our business district, grow and become the pride, a pride and proudful area to go to and shop and spend money. There's a lot of people that do come to Mount Vernon to shop. I learned that in my former campaign. And so people do come to Mount Vernon. There's culture here. I would love to see the cultural aspect expand. We have great festivals here, and that people from all over Westchester County come to visit. I would love to see that aspect expand, the business aspect again. And, like I said, I want to see our programs be able to serve more children, more than 30 or 60, or even 100. There are a lot of children in different age groups in Mount Vernon. And so I would love to see a variety of programs, that can serve our babies, as well as our toddlers and our teens, and our young adults. And so those are ways that I see Mount Vernon evolving. And I think that in those ways, there'll be a domino effect, right? Those ways will and should help maybe reduce some of the crime, if our community is active and involved. I would imagine that, that could have a positive impact. And, with our Chamber of Commerce engaging our businesses more and connecting our businesses to the community, that should have a direct impact on, our budget and, the amount of revenue that we're able to generate. And so I look forward to helping to make Mount Vernon better. So, as a candidate for city council, I want Mount Vernon to know that you have an option. Okay. You have an option to choose who it is that you want to serve as a member of your next city council. And I'm running for that purpose. I'm running to give Mount Vernon an option. I want my constituents to know, that I am someone who listens. I am someone who will stand up for the community. And I am someone who is consistent about protecting Mount Vernon. So, what I need from you to be able to achieve these things is for you to keep talking, keep showing up at those city council meetings, keep engaging in community service. Don't give up on Mount Vernon. Don't stop voting. Don't stop going to the polls. It's important for you to show up. The next primary is June. You have an opportunity to vote. You have options. My bio, my vision can be found on my website at votenicolelucio.com. You can reach me via email at votenicolelucio@gmail.com. My phone number will be posted on my website. You can call me and speak to me, invite me to your community events. I'd be more than happy to learn more, revisit, and allow you a chance to get to know me again and, be able to express some of what you're looking for in a candidate. I am Nicole Lucio, and I am running for Mount Vernon City Council. Currently, I am a compliance officer and financial fraud investigator certified in anti-money laundering. I've decided to run because I have the experience and integrity needed to advance the affairs in our beautiful city and to encourage a city government that is honest, transparent, and accountable. Nobody wants to see our local government mired in discord that nothing ever gets done. I understand that city council members are the city's legislators. A primary duty is to introduce and vote on legislation. It is my hope that you will get to know me and save your signature. Signing my petition can make a difference. Visit my website, Vote Nicole Lucio.